Do you want to take your footage from looking like this to looking like this in just 4 quick nodes? Stick around to find out how. Hi, this is James from Behind the Screens, and today I'm just going to very briefly take you through my very quick color grade process. Now, color grading is a long, intensive process with a lot of different kinds of steps, and there's a lot of little tricks and just things that we don't have time to get into here. This is just for if you need to get a project done very, very quickly and don't have a lot of time to color grade, or if you're just doing test shots and want a rough idea of what the look could be. I want to test out some very quick looks or color grades. This is what you can do. There's only 4 nodes, very, very quick steps. Now, the first thing though, step 0, is to make sure that on the day, on set, when you're filming, make sure that everything's lit properly. Make sure everything's exposed properly. If you underexpose or overexpose, you're going to have a much more difficult time color grading and getting the look that you want. It's not impossible, especially when using Davinci Resolve like I am right here, but it's going to take a lot more time. It's going to be more difficult, especially if you are new to color grading. It's not going to be as easy. It's not going to be fun. You're going to want to punch the screen if you do that. So make sure you take care of on set first. Make sure you expose properly. Make sure you light properly. And then we can really have some fun in color grading. So this is just a test shot that I did. I'll do some test shots wanting to get a feel for the look of the project that I want to make in the foreseeable future. So it was shot on a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, and the file is in Blackmagic RAW. My first step here is I have 4 nodes here because I only use really 4 nodes just for this quick little color grade. My first step is on the very last node here. I go over to LUTs. I pick the ARRI Alexa to Rec 709, so that's just in the ARRI folder. I drag it over here, and I apply it. Now already, this looks obviously a lot better than just the washed out raw footage, right? But already, it's fine. You know, if you really just need to get something out very, very quickly, it looks fine. But there are some things we can do to make it look that much better. All the way in the first node here, you want to make sure to have your LUT, if you're using a LUT, look LUT like I am right now. Put that last, put that at the very end, and do all your correcting beforehand. That's why I put the LUT first. That way I can see what is being changed to the image, instead of doing all the color grading first and then applying the LUT after. So, in the first node right here, I go to the primary color wheels down here, and I adjust the lift. Now, look in the bottom right hand of the screen. You see the scopes. You can see that they're not touching that bottom line at 0 there. Now, you don't really ever want it to touch 0. You definitely don't want it to go below 0. But I like to bring it down and get it close to that 0 marker. Not at 0, but just about. You can see that it's not touching, but it's almost just grazing that line. And that alone, it's very subtle, but that alone, I feel, gives it that much better of a look instead of it looking... There's a little bit of a fogginess to it, I could call it. Like, look at the grass a little bit. I feel like it's a little foggy compared to this. So after I adjust the lift, I go over to the gamma and the gain. Now, I don't touch these all too much. Just really whatever I think looks good, I adjust. I don't do it too much. See, I only did it 0.01 there on the gamma and 0.06 there for the gain. Nothing too fancy. I don't go too crazy or overboard when it comes to the gamma and the gain. Just a little bit of extra. So if we see here what this node added, what those just few little adjustments added, I mean, I think it's night and day. It already is looking that much better. I mean, look at my hair. It looks that much better to me. But still 2 more nodes here. Now, this is really quickly. These nodes are just really, really quick. Now I go over to the high dynamic range color wheel because this was shot in 6K. And I go over to the exposure slider here under global. And I bring that down a little more. Now, obviously, this depends on the look you want to go for. And this is all personal taste. I'm color grading to what I think looks good for this shot and the shot that I personally want to go for, the look I personally want to go for. But obviously, your film, your story, your scene, it's going to have a different context. You might want a different feel to it, different tone, and that's totally okay. Play around with it. This is not a hard set number that you need to follow in terms of, the exposure and whatnot, but I'm just using this footage and what I think looks good. So again, nothing too big here because we don't really want it to get any closer to that 0. Now this won't bring it that much closer to the 0. It's not moving down all that much. What it's doing is sort of compressing everything else. But even now, you can just see, again, a very subtle difference here. Nothing too fancy, nothing crazy, nothing even noticeable to the, average person who doesn't know a lot about color grading. But for my taste, for me personally, I like this a little bit better. And in the final note here, I want to adjust the tint and the temperature ever so slightly. A little trick that I learned, and this, again, doesn't work for every single scene or every single shot or movie, but if you add just the slightest hint of green, it makes it look that much more cinematic. Now, if I haven't touched the orange and blue yet, we'll do that in a second. With the green, without the green. With green, without the green. I think it looks a little bit more cinematic, and also it takes a lot of the redness out of my face. But because it took a lot of the redness out of my face does look a little more green. And I don't really want my face to be green. So, since this shot is going for more of a coming-of-age, drama, romance look, I'm going to go over to the temperature, and I'm just going to boost to the side of orange. Again, not overdoing it. I'm not going all the way, so I'm on the planet Arrakis. No. I'm just going to bring it to a point where it's a little more golden, a little more orange. It makes my face have a little more color to it, but not so much where I look like a carrot. And I say right about there is a look that I'm quite enjoying. Before, after. Before, after. Now, obviously, there's a lot more you can do with color grading, but this, as I said in the beginning, purely just for a very quick color grade if you need to get something out quickly, or if you just need to see a test shot if you're on set or you're doing test shots and you don't want to do a full color grade, just a little quick color grade, easy color grade, to get a general idea of what you're going for. And I think this looks pretty darn solid. If we go through the steps again, let's turn off the first 3. This is what it looks like with just the Aria LUT on. And we add our second step here, where we go to the primary color wheels and we adjusted the lift. Now we go to the HDR color wheels, and you see it's just ever so slightly different. And now finally, when we go to the tint and the temperature change, we get that. So hopefully this helps. Did this help you? Let me know in the comments down below, and let us know behind the screens what you want to see next. Also, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos from all of us. Thanks so much for watching.